All right, good morning. The committee on parole is called to order. It's 9:02 a.m. Today is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. My name is Cheryl Renatza, serving as chair of today's parole panel, and my colleagues this morning on the panel are Mr. Danny Byron, Mr. Pete Freeman. We're at DOC headquarters, so with the staff here, introduce yourself for the record.
Yes, Cavalier.
Carla Williams. All right, thank you. And we, our remote location this morning is at Louisiana State Penitentiary. Warden, would you and your staff please introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, Deputy Warden Rochelle Ambo.
Reginald Lamoureux, classification.
Carmen Shipley, Vendor Records.
All right, thank y'all for accommodating us this morning. And our first case this morning is Mr. Bradley. Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is James Bradley, 322205.
All right. And let me, you have counsel with you this morning. Counsel, would you introduce yourself?
Good morning, Board. Adrienne Hutchison, attorney for the Louisiana Parole Project, representing Mr. James Bradley.
Right. And we have also joining us in favor by Zoom, we have Andrew Hunley with the Parole Project, Rich Bradley, Mr. James Bradley's brother, and there at Angola is Katie Mino, an intern.
Yes, ma'am.
Here with us, we do have opposition with us here in Baton Rouge. Roger Fulmer, Martha Austin, and I can't see that last name. Ms. Coon. Patience Coon. All who will be speaking and we'll call on them at the appropriate time to do so. First, Mr. Bradley, let me read some identifying information into the record. You are classified as a second felony offender. You're currently serving a life sentence. You were sentenced in February 2017 in Ouachita Parish for second degree murder. You received a life sentence. You have another sentencing in Claiborne Parish in November of 2000 for simple escape type 1. You received a 5-year sentence. Your parole eligibility date was April 17, 2018. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Mr. Bradley, your case this morning has been assigned to Mr. Freeman, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Okay, Mr. Bradley, tell me what you did to get yourself put in prison and what have you done to make you think that you are ready for release today?
On that day, my day started off like it normally did, with drugs and alcohol, and which led to the events of that day of me causing irrevocable pain and suffering to the former family. I went to school that day and I skipped out to go drinking and drugging. And I was riding around town with a friend of mine. We went all over Monroe to the mall, friends' houses, and continued to do drugs. And as the day wore on, and I told him to take me to my house. I'd been talking before about leaving Monroe, still in a car, even if I had to, even killing somebody to do so. And that day I had my mind set on doing it. And he dropped me off at my house. And after he dropped me off at my house, I continued to intoxicate myself. And I went out on my front porch. And to the right of me, my neighbor had stepped out and he picked up something. I don't remember what it was, a newspaper or something. And he waved at me. And I saw him and I saw his car. And I made my decision then that that's what I was going to do. And I went next door and I knocked on his door. And Mr. Fulmer let me in. He was always nice. He was always polite, always willing to help. And I asked him, could I use his bathroom? And I went and I used the bathroom. And when I came out, and I shot him. I shot him for his car. And I ran outside to get in the car, and the keys weren't in the car. And so I went back in the house. I went back in the house and I searched his pockets, and I found the keys and I found his wallet. And I got in his car and I took off and I went to a friend of mine, Miranda's house, her apartment. And they had some people that I went to school with, and they remembered me talking before about stealing the car and leaving. And so they asked me, did I really do it? And I'm ashamed to say I bragged on it. I said I shot him in the back of the head. And after that,
Thank you.
a friend of mine, Ryan Foster, got into the car and I took off to Magnolia, Arkansas. That's where my mama lived. And a few days later, I was arrested by Columbia County Sheriff's officers. And
So why should we let you out today?
at the beginning of my incarceration, it started like a lot of my life on the streets. Drugs, bad influences, bad behavior, loss of hope. I didn't care about myself. And throughout the years, and it's sad for me to say that it took Angola for me to find my village. It was people like Warden Lamontnier and Warden Tim Delaney who saw better in me and gave me a chance. And then after that, people like Lieutenant Griffey and Miss Angela Butler, who saw my problem with drugs and reached out to help me. And I accepted the help because I'd wanted it. I never had people like that can have care and concern for me. And they showed me the better in me, that I could be more than I was. And so I went to the behavior management program. And after graduating there, they gave me an opportunity to make a difference, to actually accomplish some things, to have some meanings, goals, to live with a purpose. And it gave me the opportunity to help other addicts, to help save lives here. They also gave me the opportunity to be a member of the Pause program, where I was able to train therapy dogs and service dogs to help wounded veterans. It gave me an opportunity to become a facilitator and help teach. And through this, I gained a passion in helping others and realizing how much helping others helped me help myself. And through that, and if granted the grace and the mercy of parole today by the board, upon my release, I will be going to the parole project and continuing outpatient care with Sanctuary. Upon completing my classes and the things necessary at the parole project, I plan on going to Indiana with my brother and never return to the state. Because I know the victim's family doesn't want to see me. I don't want to cause them any more pain or suffering than I already have.
Okay,
And then from there, I'll be working with my brother doing interior, exterior carpentry work and painting.
Okay, all right, well, let's move on. Warden, what do you have to tell us about, Mr. Brad?
Mr. Bradley, is a minimum A trustee. He's assigned to maintenance. He has, completed a plethora of, programs, that include victim awareness and the letter training. He also did anger management and substance abuse. He do have a GED. He's a pause trainer, which is our, prisoner assistant warrior program where we train dogs to, work with, military veterans that have PTSD or maybe some type of handicap. He participated in the behavior management program, which now he's a facilitator and a mentor. A lot of staff say that he's respectable toward them. I never had any problem with Mr. Bradley. Every time I seen him, he was very respectable and he would do anything that someone asked him to do. Other than that, I don't have anything else on Mr. Bradley.
Okay, all right, Mr. Bradley, let's, move on to, the people that are here in support. Mr. Andrew Hundley from the Parole Project.
Good morning, Andrew Hundley, appearing today to confirm to the board that if Mr. Bradley would be granted parole, he is a client of our organization. We stood by him at his previous parole hearing, and we continue to stand by him in light of his continued progress within the Department of Corrections. He was denied parole, obviously, at his last hearing, but he's continued to participate in programming and improve his lot in life at Angola. We believe that based on the amount of time that Mr. Bradley served, and especially, the way he's dedicated himself to helping others within the prison through the Pause program, through facilitating programs, and especially addressing the issues that led him to incarceration and the issues that caused him problems when he first was in prison. He's continued to address those, and he has made it clear in conversations with our staff and our social work team that he understands he's got to continue to work on his sobriety. So the reentry plan that we'd like to offer today is really two options that we see the board has. In the event that the board would want to grant him, but immediately see him leave the state, he does have an out-of-state plan with his brother. In that case, we would still ask that he come to Parole Project for some amount of time before he leaves the state, so he could at least participate in the first phase or two of our reentry program. If the board was willing to allow him to stay in the state longer, we would recommend a minimum of 1 year with our program. As you're aware, Mr. Bradley's a juvenile lifer. There's a large network of successful juvenile lifers who've come home over the last several years who have taken a keen interest in Mr. Bradley's reentry. So he has a network of support within the community that would be there to support him. I must also note that in addition to those things, Mr. Bradley is an accomplished artist. So in addition to many of the skills that he's gained, he's one of the better artists that we've seen in recent years in the Department of Corrections. He's an exceptionally accomplished person who committed a horrible offense decades ago, but has turned his life around. And Parole Project's committed that if he's given a second chance today, that we will help him reintegrate into the community with all of the resources that our organization has to offer. And I stand by to answer any other questions the board may have about his reentry plan. Thank you.
You. Okay, Mr. Rich Bradley, your brother.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, sir.
Tell us what you want us to know about your brother.
My brother, well, as you just heard, he went in when he was just turned 16, barely a man. And he has had to overcome great obstacles on the inside, I can only imagine. But through his resilience in the face of adversity, he has completed many programs. He's become a wonderful, accomplished artist. And if granted parole, he can come live with my wife and I. We live in a small town of Boswell, Indiana, up here in a farm town, in a big old farmhouse. We have 3 dogs and a cat, my wife's son and his wife. We got a big garden. I am a carpenter by trade, and I've hooked up with a contractor here, and we do all kinds of indoor and exterior work. I build furniture, cabinets, and I know with JJ's, his artistic skills, his wanting to excel and succeed, he will have no problem finding work here. And at home here, he will be treated as part of the family. He will always have somebody to turn to if he has anything he needs. I will be here for the smallest to the biggest thing. I will be here for James 24/7. I want to be a big brother to him. We just want him to come home and make us all proud. I'm so proud of how far he's come in all of this. And I just want my brother home so he can live out his life as a free man and benefit society and help other people. That's what we do. Thank you for your time.
Okay, and now we'll go to Miss Adrian Hutchinson, your attorney. Miss Hutchinson?
Good morning, board. And thank you for hearing us today. I represented James in 2023 before the board. And during that time, both the committee and LST had acknowledged that James had begun to turn the corner. This was the same sentiment that the judge had during his resentencing. And even then, he was still struggling within his addiction. You all have received my packet in there is an explanation of how early his addiction started in his life and how it progressed throughout prison. And within the last hearing, the theme kind of from the committee at that time was to show us more continued growth and maturity. And I believe that James has done just that. He's done what the board had asked of him. He's gained a Class A trustee status, showing that he has showed the institution that he can be trusted with greater accountability in the system. He has maintained his sobriety for the first time in his life for this amount of time. As you know, this started as a very early child with him. He's maintained as a mentor and facilitator for the RDAP program. And part of that, the thing that he's taken great pride in is that he's graduated the most facilitators and valedictorians out of any other mentor in that program in Camp C. He's been a pause trainer and worked with a behavior management program for several years. He's really poured into giving back. And I think most importantly, he understands the harm he caused and is genuinely sorry to the former family. And he knows that he can't provide any reprieve or anything to give back for the hurt he's caused. But he has poured into continuing to help others to atone for the harm that he's put into the community. You'll see that our social work department has found a position for him with the sanctuary for an intensive outpatient programming, so that if he were to come to Louisiana Parole Project, he would still have the social work team with us, but he would also go to IOP. For a group therapy program, he would have his own counselor, so he would have that in addition. Since his last hearing, he's also become a TAPUCO facilitator. So again, showing that he has poured into other people. Even in the height of his addiction, you'll see that he had many accolades and letters because he had done artwork and given back to the community, showing that he's always wanted to do better. He just struggled. Lieutenant Butler, Camp C, they continue to work with him in making sure that he was maintaining his sobriety, and he has thrived. And I believe that he has done everything that the board has asked for him to show the continued growth and maturity that was asked since 2023. And so we just asked the board to give James the opportunity to have a second chance. He would be leaving the state and going on to help his brother and be with his family in Indiana. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're gonna get to the opposition. We have Roger Fulmer, Martha Austin, and Patience Coon. Y'all decide who wants to go first and step up to the podium.
Just one thing,
Yes, sir.
it's hard to get up here and say anything. Went through this 3 times now. Reliving what happened some 30-something years ago. And he's trying to tell us that in the last 2 years, he's corrected all the past 33 years. And it's hard to believe. It's my contention that he's where he needs to be, where he needs to stay. It's what we agreed upon with the district attorney when he pleaded guilty, that he would have life in prison without parole. And that's where he needs to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next. Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
You have to hold one another.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm the youngest daughter, Jackie Fulmer. I just like my brother said, it's hard to get up here and relive David and there. I'm glad he's accomplished all those things. But he took a life. My daddy wasn't given a second chance. And I know that in the trial, the psychologist told us that he was an antisocial psychopath and that he would do whatever he had to do to get what he wanted. I just don't believe he needs to be out. He can't do any more to us other than every time we have to come here, we grieve. We grieve.
It brings it all up.
It's like reliving it all over again. Isn't that phone call? Seeing him in court. And this is the first time he's ever showed any remorse.
Amen.
First time. In court, he would smirk. And let me tell you, a 16-year-old boy, they know what they're doing. And it doesn't negate that he was on drugs or alcohol. I raised 2 boys. And they were disciplined. They knew right from wrong. And taking a life.
No, our father didn't have the opportunity to heal. He's gone. And he hardworking man, raised 7 kids. And it's just, I don't see how people can go back when they've already said, it's already been sentenced. When it was done, they wanted the death penalty. The DA did. But we said, no, we want him to have life without the possibility of parole. And every time,
We didn't want to take his life.
no,
We didn't want to take a life. We didn't want to take his life. We did. My daddy was a hardworking man, as he said. My daddy was a good man. He would have done anything in the world for him. He didn't have to kill him. He didn't have to steal his car, and he didn't have to rob my daddy.
if my daddy had the money, if he needed $2 or $3, whatever, daddy would have handed it over.
I just don't know.
If y'all were in our place, it was your father, a member of it's something to think about, when you're not in our shoes. It's easy to make decisions.
My daddy's missed out on grandkids, great-grandkids. My daddy was in good health. He worked like a horse. And this young man, I don't say a child because he wasn't a child. He's 16 years old. He knew right from wrong. Decided that morning that he would take a gun.
It was planned.
And shoot my daddy in the back of the head and stood in front of him and watched him bleed to death. To me, it's horrendous. It's horrendous for anybody.
He was in that game, the co-op or whatever, does that upside down cross, and he done that in the army thing of my daddy's vehicle. And then he wrecked it and put it out in the woods, and that's where they found it. The boy knew what he was doing when he did it, because he did it playing. His dad had been taking guns away from him. And he said, Daddy, when I get ready to kill the person I'm gonna kill, I'll find the gun. His daddy turned him in, so what does that tell you right there?
And 2 years ago, we were here, and he didn't get out because of the infractions that he had. It's like my brother said, if it's taking him, he's been in here 33 years.
Yeah.
In 2 years, he can't correct everything that's wrong. He knew he had to do it to be eligible for parole in 2 years.
That's correct, that's what they told me.
That's exactly what they told me. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want him as my neighbor. The psychologist said she wouldn't want him as her neighbor. I just don't know words to express my opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, we could talk and talk and talk.
Yes, ma'am.
My daddy was a good man.
I mean, he raised 7 good kids, and
He was a good man. I'm sorry.
I just don't think that, you know, a life for a life, tooth for tooth. I don't hate him. I don't hate him or anything. I just don't think.
I've forgiven him, but you know, because to be forgiven, you have to forgive. But I don't know. I just
Yes, ma'am.
to lose my daddy the way he died. It's just a horrible thing.
Knowing that he lived his life a good man and had
And
it.
this young man was the next door neighbor. The next door neighbor, my daddy had helped several times. My oldest child that I lost the same year we went to pro 2 years ago. Played football with him. I mean, my daddy wouldn't hurt him in any way. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm sorry.
Like my brother said, he's where he needs to be.
He does.
Right.
He is. If he's doing such good things, he needs to be there and be a mentor there and
That's
stay
right.
there and mentor some of these others
That's right.
that maybe have not killed somebody.
Thank y'all, appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
Thank y'all.
Okay, get back to y'all seats. Okay, Mr. Bradley, now, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm a little bit disappointed. Your lawyer said you did everything we asked you to do. I asked you to get in the STAR program. You said you didn't need it. Why?
When you said that, I took it as the suggestion of the STAR program or something like it, so I did all that follow-up, which is 12 months of drug rehabilitation programming, and I did Experiencing God, which contains 12 months of conquering codependency, so I did both of those.
All right, and what did you learn from the victim accountability class? I see you took that in 2024.
I learned the depth of the pain and suffering I caused the family. The fact that at that time, before then, I didn't have somebody like Mr. Fulmer in my life. I didn't have that kind, compassionate, caring person that was there for my every want and need. I didn't have that. So I didn't realize before then what I actually took, the security, the trust, the faith, the hope that I took from that family. I didn't realize it then. And victims awareness helped me see that, the totality of it, the fact that I know I could never fully feel their pain and their suffering because I can't imagine that happening to my father. But it let me know the depth of the hurt and the pain that I caused, and to know that there's nothing I can ever do to take it away. And the man that I took off the face of this earth, that there's no replacing him. What I took from that family, what I took from the community, there was nothing in the world that could take his place.
All right, and You know, and I'm gonna tell you, the reason I recommended the STAR program was because I looked at it and you would take living in balance in 2019, and yet you had 3 intoxications and a contraband after that. So, you know, that's why I recommend. I'm not saying the other program wasn't just as good. I just know the STAR program is pretty good. Okay, you have no write-up since 2008. You, as you see, you have victim opposition. Let's see. No, you have no write-up since 2021. I'm sorry. Yes, 2021. I have no other questions.
Mr. Freeman, this is Ward Nambo, how you doing?
Doing good.
I just want to put in the records that, Mr. Bradley did take the behavior management program, which is also one of our intensive substance abuse programs, and he took that after the hearing and after that write-up that he had, for the intoxication, the 14th.
Okay, thank you very much, Ward Nambo.
You're welcome.
So how long have you been a Class A trustee, Mr. Bradley?
Since January, ma'am.
Of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about your Tapuku work, mentor. What do you do? Tell me what you get out of that.
Tapuku is a class based on internal motivation rather than dealing with external motivational factors that teach you how to be motivated internally to set SMART goals, which are smart, achievable, manageable, rewarding, and time-bound goals. It also teaches time management. It also teaches to work with the community around you to seek help and support to obtain your goals, to involve others, and to have a goal-oriented life.
And so what do you personally get out of? You work with others?
Yes, ma'am. What I get out of is a sense of accomplishment and helping others to achieve their goals as I achieve mine as well.
What do you think it was that, got your attention and made you turn the corner and start working on you?
It was a combination of certain people in the administration, as I said earlier, like Tim Delaney and Warden Lamontnier and Colonel Griffey. Well, he's a colonel now. He was a lieutenant then. And Miss Butler that saw the better in me, that they cared. You know, before I didn't see that in the system. I didn't see it. The first time I really program was offered to talk reentry type programs. If I'm right, was in 2013 with 100 hours. And for me, that was a start. But what really got the start of it was when I did Kairos in 2019. And there, seeing how the support with the administration and the people that came from the free world and how they were reaching out to help us, and people from around the world were reaching in. And right there was my start. That broke my shell right there and made me realize that I've been a child for far too long. I had to grow up. I had to take accountability and responsibility for me, my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions, and take control of my life.
So I noticed in my notes, I made a note that when you were resentenced in 2017.
Yes, ma'am.
And why did the judge have to excuse you from the courtroom? You remember? The notes say that at your sentencing in 2017, the judge had to excuse you from the courtroom.
I had made an objection. This was in the sentencing phase where he was resentencing me. And I had something, I forget what the mandate was. I don't remember if it was I forget the legal number, the revised
Right.
statute. And my lawyer had suggested that at that time, I object to it. And when I did, the judge says, that's it. I don't want to hear it, Mr. Bradley. And then,
Right. Well, I think what I've read somewhere that in doing so, you were very disrespectful. And so I'd say all that. That's why I asked you, when did you start changing? And you say it was after that in 2019, because your record clearly shows that, you know, after that situation that the change started.
yes, ma'am.
I don't have any other questions. Any questions? Ready to vote? All right, Mr. Freeman, we'll take your vote.
Okay, all right, Mr. Bradley, you had a terrific interview. There's no doubt you've listened to the classes you have taken. You have strong law enforcement and victim opposition. Got to have a longer period of sobriety. It's only been since 2021 since you had your last Groove 14. And I'm sorry that before that it was just too bad. I got to see it. So I just don't think it's quite your time. My vote is to deny.
Mr. Byron?
I'm gonna concur with Mr. Freeman for the same reasons, deny, but I also am concerned the fact that you didn't do the STAR program, and I would highly recommend before you appear back here again, that you would do it, because it just shows that you're still making bad decisions. You know, what if we give you a parole condition and you decide you want to do a different one instead? Well, how do we know that you're gonna do it and not do what you want to do? Before you come back and see us again. I agree with him, you are doing well.
All right, Mr. Bradley, I would give you a chance simply because you have the support of the Parole Project and your brother out of state. I do believe that what I've seen today is sincere. My vote would be to grant to the Parole Project plan and then on to Indiana, but you have to have a unanimous vote. So keep doing what you're doing, and maybe you'll have a different outcome if you come back. Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.